Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Ameer Hamza Bullo, and I'm currently serving as a barrister at the Sindh High Court. I did my primary schooling from the Overseas Public Foundation School in Dadu, after which I moved to Karachi to do my O-levels. I did my O-levels from the Link School and my A-levels from the Lyceum, and on the basis of my results, which were 2 A stars and an A, I was called to King's College London to do my L.L.B. Upon being president of several societies over there and my academic results, I was called to the Honourable Society of Lincoln's Inn to do my bar. Upon the commencement of my bar, however, we were hit with a global pandemic, because of which I had to return back to Karachi. And from August of 2020 to February of 2021, I prepared for my CSS examinations, and alhamdulillah, in my first attempt, I got allocated to the Pakistan Administrative Service Group. The inspiration for CSS is very subjective. It's very different for all candidates, but for me personally, it was the ability to have public dealing and to ensure that I could play a part in improving the areas where improvement is needed across Pakistan as an assistant commissioner. And apart from that, from a more personal experience, my father was a serving bureaucrat himself, and so was my uncle, who was a Shaheed DIG, Abdulaziz Bullo. And because of that, the experience that I've garnered and my natural inclination towards civil services as a whole has inspired me and led me to become, alhamdulillah, a civil servant. CSS is obviously a very tumultuous journey for candidates, whoever gives CSS. And for me personally, because I had 6 months, it was the hurdle of having sustained hard work across the 24 weeks that I had to prepare, and obviously getting the proper evaluation, the proper checks to ensure that I had the answering prowess that the examiner demands. And these were the hurdles, while the motivations were very much similar. The motivations were to ensure that by the end of those 6 months, I had the ability to write an answer which would impress the examiner. I had done the hard work and sustained it across the board to ensure that I had the proper content while answering the questions. So my hurdles and motivations went hand in hand, and that is why, alhamdulillah, I got allocated to my group. There are a lot of common mistakes made by students of CSS and those who are preparing for the CSS examination, and that is not because of the inability of the candidates to give the exam, but because of the lack of guidance that is provided to the candidates. Now, first of all, the ability to make notes, short or long, is extremely crucial. And because a lot of candidates do rely on notes of the others, they do not develop the expertise and the content which needs to be provided to the examiner at the end of the day. Secondly, the ability to have sustained hard work for 8 to 12 months, because that is extremely crucial for such an important exam. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, the ability and the accessibility to proper candidates, to proper mentors to get your answers evaluated. Because as long as you do not realize what mistakes you're making or what improvements could be brought to your answers or note-making techniques, you will never be able to fulfill your potential in terms of being a candidate and hopefully becoming a civil servant. My teaching strategies would be things that I wanted to have when I was preparing for civil services myself. And that is firstly, the ability to understand how to make notes and someone to guide me throughout the entire process. Secondly, to cut no corners, to ensure that the syllabus is covered and the important topics are memorized by me through the help of a mentor. And finally, one-on-one evaluation and the ability to get your answers checked to see where you can improve your answer and where we can further improve it to ensure that when you go into the exam, you're not only writing a good answer, you also have good presentation, and that the examiner is impressed in terms of the marking trends of the subject and also in terms of how you can get the maximum amount of marks in the shortest amount of time.